Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marta. I come from Norway and I love makeup, especially indie makeup and sparkly things. And today I'm so excited because yesterday I just got a PR package by Glam Shop and it contained both the nude collection as well as the flower collection that they have. And the flower collection is what I'm making a video on today. And this collection has 3 different palettes. As you can see here, you have one that is pink, you have one that is green, and you have one that is more of a purple and blue. And I'm of course going to show you some close-ups, I'm going to show you swatches, and I also did this look using a little bit of everything in this collection, like in the palettes. So I will just show you the swatches first and then we'll get into this look. So if you're interested in seeing that, then please keep on watching. This is the green-yellow palette called Celadine, and I'm not sure what it means in English because I just got some weird suggestions from Google, but it is a 9-pan shadow palette. It has gorgeous design, as you can see right here. I just love flowers, so all of these palettes have beautiful design in my opinion. Here you can see the inside of the palette, so it does contain pastels, and the website says that it has various shades of willow green, and it has from fair to deep and iridescent shades. So this palette in particular contains both pearls, ultra pearls, and ultra mattes, and you can already see which shades I'm more drawn to. It's those sparkly ones. And that's obviously some of the ones that I used today, so if you're interested in seeing that, then wait for my tutorial. But let's do the swatches of these, and I just really like these shadows. As you can see, I'm doing live swatches right here. I typically just do the regular swatches and then I build them up 3 at a time, just because I do take photos of the palettes as well and I want to post that for Instagram, so I just do that at the same time. But I'm just going to put on some music while showing you the rest of these swatches, and I'll also film them in sunlight because we are having amazing weather here in Norway, so I just figured I would take advantage of that. So just enjoy these swatches. So here's that whole palette swatched out, and I must just say I'm crazy about these 2 shades. Like, I don't own JD Glow Prismatic, but I feel like this one is like the yellow version of that. And this one is just so textured and beautiful. And you would definitely have a lot of different shimmer formulas here. I think this is like their multi-pastel formula, because it was like kind of hard to swatch to make it show up on my arm. So here we can see the sparkles. These are more like regular shimmers. I was kind of expecting that green one. Like, it is a little bit weird in the undertone, but I was expecting it to have sort of like a pink or warmer shift, but it doesn't really have that. As far as I can see, maybe like a tiny bit of peach, but nothing that you can really see. Then you have these 2. I love the grungy, orangey, yellowy mustard shade. It's so oh my god, oh my god. Okay, I'm speechless looking at this shade. Oh my god, I think I have to use this because as I'm filming this, I haven't done my look yet. Wow. That is like, that's probably one of my favorite shades from Glam Shop now. And that is the yellow too. Like, look at it. I feel like you can't really see it as much, but it has like a greenish, like lime shift. Maybe it's just me that don't see it on the monitor. But wow, those 2 shades just are so stunning. Then we have these last 2 that are a little bit different. I don't know. I feel like that second to last shade would do amazing as a highlighter, at least for my skin tone. So maybe I'll use it for that, because you can see that purple shift, but it's barely there. Maybe it will show up better if you use it on glitter glue. But that is this amazing palette. I'm so in love with those 2 shimmers there. Wow. second palette is this one, and oh, I just cannot say how much I love this packaging. Just look at it, it's so beautiful. And this is the inside. It's also a pastel palette. You can clearly see that this has shades of blue, pink and purple, and you can kind of see that they have blue, pink and purple in each row. So this one also has fair shades, it has more iridescent shades, and it also has like deep iridescent shades, which you will definitely see in the swatches of this one. And this has the same kind of formulas that the previous one has, with pearls, ultra pearls and ultra mattes. And again, I'm just going to show you the swatches with some music on so you can enjoy that. Here is this gorgeous purple and blue palette, and the shimmers in this one, you guys, it's incredible. Oh, I can't even speak. So the first two shimmers here are fairly similar. It's like they have used the same pigment, but the first one has an iridescent base, whereas the second one has a little bit of base pigment, which is blue, like light blue. And then we have the mattes. They are buildable, they're very pigmented, but since they're so light, they are a little bit more chalky, but they're still like the regular Glam Shop formula. They're powdery, but yeah, pigmented. So you'll definitely get a lot of pigment with these, which I think is the preferable kind of formula for pastels for deeper skin tones too, at least from what I've heard from some of my friends. And then we come to these two, like, okay, so this one reminds me a lot about Giggler and Lolita from their multi-pastels, just that this one isn't maybe as sparkly. And then this one is like that one in the green palette. It's so textured and sparkly. It's just so beautiful. It has some multi-dimensional sparkles. I can see some gold, blue, purple, pink. Yeah, it's just so beautiful. And I love this more periwinkle matte because you can see it like in comparison to this one, which is just a light blue. This one is more of like a purple, like lavender, almost periwinkle because it's quite blue. And this one is like a lighter version of that Violetti palette shade, which has a lot deeper purple base but with a golden shift. And then you have this matte to just deepen up a little bit, or just use with the pinks. And yeah, that is the palette. It's really beautiful, and these shimmers are just so intense. Like, look at that. I'm just so speechless all the time when I swatch the Glam Shop sparkly shadows, because they're so shifty and beautiful and just up my alley. Last but not least, we have this palette, the Tropicana palette, and it's also just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the inside, it looks a little something like this. It also has some pastel shades, but I feel like this one is generally like a little bit deeper than the other palettes, just in my opinion at least. In this palette, there are also a mix of pearls, ultra pearls, and ultra mattes. And I'm just going to show you the swatches again. here is that last palette. This one is a little bit deeper, as you can see. It's not as pastel ish. So the shimmers in this one are also just incredible. This first one is kind of boring in my opinion, but like that's just me. It's just a peach with gold. Then we have these mattes. The yellow matte was like so effortlessly pigmented. It was not typical of any kind of yellow shadows that I've swatched before. So that's really good. I was kind of skeptical because it does have those glitter particles, but I mean, it was super pigmented. And like I'll show you more about the shimmers when I change up my lighting. Then we have this last pink matte, which was also very pigmented. So here you can see that gold sheen a little bit better. And you can really see the glitter sparkles that are in the pink or fuchsia shade and the yellow shade. And then these two, I'm quite sure these are like marble shades, at least the last one, because that was like just so, like you can see how foiled that is. This one was almost a little bit gritty. That was also the green one in the green palette, but they're so textured and so sparkly and shifty. Like you can see the shifts right here. I mean, the purple one doesn't really have too much of a shift, but it's just so incredibly high shine. And this one, it reminds me a little bit of Vata Cukrova, but it does have more of a blue shift, whereas Vata Cukrova only have like this, it only has this orangey pink shift. But these two are just so beautiful. And then you also have this one, which is quite intense. This one is more of like a rose gold shade. And this one is just like more of a regular shimmer, but it does have some warmer pink purple shift to it. I also almost forgot that the collection also has this blush palette, which is looking something like this on the inside. So it has two matte regular blushes, and then it also has one that is natural illuminating, it says. And I don't personally use shimmery blushes, and this one looks kind of a little bit more like a shimmery bronzer to me, at least in my skin tone. I don't know if you can like see that. I completely forgot to use this today, so I will be using this in my video where I use the nude collection. So just stay put for that, and then you will see me actually using these. But I figured I could just swatch them like just on my finger so you can see the colors, because I don't really know how inclusive this palette is. I feel like, yeah, it looks a little bit even lighter when I actually swatch them, so I don't know. I feel like this is definitely something for light skin tones. I wish that they would do some palettes or at least powders or anything for more than just like light or fair skin tones. I would love to see that. But I mean, these are beautiful for me or someone a little bit deeper than me, but I don't think these will work very well on deeper skin tones. So yeah, I'm not that excited about that, but at least here you got to see them. They also have these loose pigments, so they have one for each of the palettes basically, and these are quite a lot deeper than the pastel shades that are in the palettes, which you will see. So for my look, I just cannot decide which palette to go for. I think I want to use a mix of them. So I definitely want to use this one. This is like my favorite shadow of the whole collection. And I think I'm going to use this one for the outer corner. So that's what I'm starting with. And this is my Glam Shop brush in 0105. I do also think this one is so tempting. So I might just use the other like turquoise matte in the other palette and try to use the periwinkle. But I'm not sure yet, but that would have been a kind of weird and cool combination. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna use this as an iridescent inner corner shade. So I am wearing my Smashbox base right now. Probably with pastels you should use some lighter base to make them pop even more. I will say this looks very promising and pigmented. And I'm just going to use this in the very outer corner right here. So I'll be trying to blend it with this one. Now I'm using the GB12 brush by Glam Shop, and I will be using this one for the very inner corner, probably with the same brush. So I'm very excited to see how these two blend together because they're like, one is blue and one is more yellow-green, but we shall see. Wow, that is really pigmented though. I didn't really pick up too much on the brush. Now I'm taking that purple. I think it's a little bit lighter. Yeah, it definitely shows up lighter than I would have expected from seeing it in the pan. But again, you can see that it's very like opaque. Wow, I really like this kind of formula. Like, sure, they're powdery, but they're so pigmented and they blend so effortlessly. They remind me a little bit of the Terra Moon's pastels and generally like their formula. Powdery, but very opaque and beautiful. So this is like a really weird color combo, I know, but I just wanted to play with some different colors today. And I will be using that green all over the lid, I think, just because I feel like I have to do that to show its true potential, because it's just so sparkly, textured, and beautiful. Oh, I cannot wait to add that. So I'm probably just going to add my Glam glue all over the lid and take a flat brush and apply that one. This is performing so nicely. I'm loving these colors this far. Glam glue is on and I'm going to apply this one. I'm so excited to see this all over the lid because it has that green to like minty and blue shift that is just so incredible, and it's so sparkly. Like, you can see that it's so intense and it's kind of textured and beautiful. Obviously with these kind of shades you will get fallout if you're not careful. I don't care too much, but I'm trying to be slightly careful now. I'm wondering what I should do for the lower lash line. Like, should I add even more colors? It's probably going to look a little bit weird, but I just want to try everything, you know? I'm just going to finish off the other eye too, and then we'll see what I'm going to do for the lower lash line. So shimmer is done on both sides, so I'm just going to take a little bit more of that dirty, like, what do you even call this? Dirty yellow? And I'm just going to add that to the outer corner right here, and then I'm actually going to dip into that palette that I haven't used yet, which is the pink and yellow more peachy palette, because I'm going to use the yellow matte in that one. I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to use the yellow matte in that one, and then I'm going to use this gorgeous yellowy shimmer in this one for the lower lash line, I think, because I feel like that would go nicely with this look. Can I even put it like this? Yeah. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that yellow matte, and I'm taking it with my Glam Shop 0122 brush. Oh, this is just so pigmented, so beautiful. I'm just using this kind of like a base for the shimmer shade, so I can have that yellow color underneath, and hopefully it will look quite yellow as well, the shimmer, when I put it on top of this. I'm blending a little bit now, but probably I'll have to blend a little bit after adding my concealer, and I do have to remove all the fallout that I have here. Just look at that pigment, it's so pigmented. And now I already added the Glam glue, so I'm just going in with this one. I feel like it goes so well with that shimmer that I have on here, because you can see, or I'm not sure if you can, yeah, I think you can see it. It has that minty green sheen to it. It's just so incredibly beautiful. So something like this, and I'm just going to finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I will probably just add the most iridescent shade that is in these palettes, which will be this one. I'm not sure how it's going to play with the rest of the look because it's like a purple to blue, but I do have some purple, so hopefully it's fine. And you can kind of see here, because I added the glitter glue, and the shimmers in these palettes are deeper than the mattes, which is not something I prefer. So preferably I would have used these palettes with some other mattes, like for example their Totally Matte Volume 2 palette that I have, because that one has like a nice array of different shades that are a little bit deeper. But of course you could just use any kind of colors that are slightly similar. Like here you could have used a brown, you could use orange, you can just use a green to blend out. But yeah, I will try to like pat on a little bit more of that shade to see if I can like cover it up a little bit, but like all in all, I do think this is a really beautiful look, and I don't have that much of it right here because I think I just added a little bit too much of the glam glue, or like added it a little bit too far up. So yeah, this is basically my finished look. So I'll just show you the close-up of the look when I'm finished with all the rest of my makeup, and then we'll talk a little bit about these palettes. And that was the finished look, which personally I really like how it ended up looking. I would love to hear what you think of the look that I created, because I know that some of these colors are maybe not something people would regularly go for, but they are reminding me kind of a little bit like a pastel version of the Beautybay It's Freaking Bats palette, which is a color story that I personally really like. And yeah, I feel like the Glam Shop shadows in these palettes are just like I'm used to. They're very powdery, but they're also very, very pigmented. They blend very seamlessly, in my opinion at least. I had no issues whatsoever. It was a super easy and simple look to do. And the shimmers, oh, I just love these shimmers. And this one that I have on my lid, it's just so freaking intense. I just can't even. And for my lips, I ended up using their lip liner in the shade Nude Glam. And I also used one of their lip glosses that they launched with the Nude collection, and I feel like together they made this like a really beautiful neutral lip for me. And I will be talking a little bit more about the glosses and the rest of the Nude collection in that video. But for my highlight, I ended up using the shade that I think I mentioned it. I wanted to try this one for my highlight, and that's actually what I put on as my highlight today. So it's just it has a minty iridescent base, and then it shifts from blue to purple, which I felt like would be a very nice shade. And my blush is the cream blushes from Made by Mitchell, and I used both the shades Mango Daiquiri and Peach Sugar. So I did a mix of those, and it kind of went a little bit overboard, but I do like the color that they made together. And I used the new bronzer from the Nude collection in my forehead here, and then I used the regular contour powder that I usually use from Glam Shop, and I'm really happy with how my makeup turned out. I feel like it's very like summery and beautiful look, if I can say so myself. And I'm so excited to be using these palettes more. They're just so gorgeous, and I feel like Glam Shop is like an amped up Colourpop version, because I've heard a lot of people comparing these to the tie-dye collection by Colourpop. I don't personally have that, but these shimmers, I can still say that they are so much better than Colourpop. They're just so sparkly, beautiful, and shifty, most of them, and I'm just so happy that I received these from them, and I'm so grateful for that. Oh, and I don't think I've mentioned it in any videos yet, but I have started to use their Laminate product for the brows, and I really like it. I do use it in combination with my Makeup Mekka Long Lasting Brow Tint, which is basically just like this felt tip that I just make hair strokes with, and that's kind of making my brows look a little bit darker, because right now I haven't dyed them in a long time, so they're very light. But I do love to use those in combination with each other, and they hold up so nicely with this laminating product. I do think that's the end of this video though. I hope that you enjoyed the swatches. I hope that you enjoyed this look. Please leave me a comment down below what you thought of this whole collection. I personally am so excited about it, and I would have bought all of the palettes if I weren't receiving them in PR. I would love to know if you're interested in getting some of these palettes, or if you already ordered them, because they have been available for a little while already. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!